In Washington, 1973, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act was finally signed, a bill that helps recognize people with disabilities as human and not objects of pity. It helps validate the struggle of navigating a world that wasn't made for those with a disability and provides access to necessary human resources. I'll be focusing on the academic part since that's what I've experienced personally, aka something called the 504 plan. So, quick history lesson. For a long time, folks with disabilities, whether they be visible or invisible, barely had any rights. It was hard to get into school, get a job, or even use things like public transportation. Then, in 1973, along came Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, a bill that wouldn't allow people to discriminate against others with disabilities and would provide things like wheelchair-accessible buildings and special education in classrooms. Yet, even with this bill, the government refused to sign it, saying that the ratio of people it would have helped to the amount of money it would cost wouldn't make it worth it. Which is stupid, but people in power back then were really stupid. I guess not much has changed. So in turn, a group of disability activists led by Judith E. Heumann arranged something called the 504 Sit-In. Hundreds of people took over this building, lasting 24 days. Until the person who needed to sign the bill suddenly did because he got too scared of this group of people. Now, as you can imagine, probably because of the name, the 504 plan is something that came along with this bill, providing people with disabilities with help for the first time in the academic system. So, first question, what is a 504 plan? A 504 is a tool given to students with a disability, which allows them to receive services or accommodations that are modified to the individual student's specific needs. The only issue I have with the 504 plan is that you need to be diagnosed with a disability to get one. Now, this makes sense. However, there's an extreme lack of education surrounding neurodivergency in particular. Mental health is a tad bit better, but people tend to overlook educating themselves and others about things like ADHD and autism because they think they know what it is. That it's just as simple as being hyper, not being able to focus, or just poor communication skills. Or even sometimes people associate these diagnoses with words like stupid or annoying, when in reality, they have so much more depth than that. Because of this extreme lack of education, it's harder for children with these kinds of invisible disorders to get a proper diagnosis, which in turn leads to a lack of help. And if I'm being totally honest, this all just kind of ties into capitalism. We don't pay teachers enough because it's not profitable enough, so why would corrupt leaders spend money to educate teachers on these invisible disorders? We need this, not so teachers can diagnose children, but so they can recognize the symptoms of these disorders so they can give a family a referral, so they can get a proper diagnosis. So basically, that's all I have to say about Section 504. Overall, pretty cool. Makes life easier. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, you can find the bibliography in the description if you want to know more. And if you're new to my channel, this isn't usually what I do, but if you like this, please tell me so I can put more effort into them next time, if there is a next time. This one was really rushed, but I was doing it for a school project and I needed to get it done because of this lovely thing called poor time management skills and poor executive functioning, which is where the 504 plan comes in because then I get an extension. Yep, that's it. Okay, bye. Cool. Anyways, yeah, pretty pog. Pretty cool.